And so this is deepzoom.com. This is a website you could plot out your route to anywhere. This is a pretty big map, and so I was able to do that here at the crossing. I put in my start time, which was about 7 o'clock. It was actually more like 7:05, probably maybe around 10. This is on Monday. And so what I'm going to do is you could see on the tide chart here where I am relative to where things started going sideways. And I'll explain why I made the decision to go. So we started about 7 o'clock because I have a picture of my boat at the dock right about 7 o'clock. It took me a few minutes to get to the boat and actually launch. So, I come out and I'm at about buoy 10. So this is 10, this is 8, that's 6. So I stop here. I stop and look. We make sure our life vests are on. I give my safety speech, and we see rollers and no white caps. Nothing's crashing. I can't see any waves crashing, and they're just 3 to 5 foot swells. And so, which was easy enough. I mean, riding swells, just riding rollers, was just a piece of cake. So I had 3 other boats with me, and there was a guide boat that did turn around. But me and 3 other boats, we pushed through. And when we left at 7 o'clock down here, there was no bar restriction. Same report as yesterday. 3 to 5, or no, 1 to 3 in the middle, 2 to 4, and I can't remember how many seconds on the sides. The middle ground was 1 to 3, and the day before crossing was just cake. It was really, really easy, and so we had the same report, and no restrictions. And so as we motor through, we were here about 7:30. I have a picture. Shane took a picture on my boat, and I could see on the screen that we were about between these points right here at about 7:30. 7:50 is when I got my warning that my GPS had failed. That's when things were rocking on the boat. My anchor came loose, the rope came out, the buoy ball came out overboard, and so I think we're right around 6 when all that happened. And so this is where the tide is when all that was going on. Now, as you can see, these arrows are actually getting bigger as we get closer to the slack tide versus getting smaller, what I would anticipate they were according to the rule 12s. For you that are not familiar with the rule 12s, in the first hour of a tide, you have 1/12. In the second and third hours, you have 2/12. In the third and fourth hours, you have like 4/12. And the biggest push is typically in the middle of the swing. And as you get closer towards this slack tide, it goes the opposite. It goes 2/12, last hour 1/12. So theoretically, the push is getting less as you're getting towards slack. That is not the case according to deepzoom.com. As we're getting closer to slack, you can see the arrows getting bigger, and the push is growing. I was not aware that this was going to happen. I figured as we're getting closer to the slack, the push is diminishing. And so I assumed by the rule 12s that it was going to be not as big here as it was in the middle. But my determining factor was there was 3 other boats with us. The guide or the Coast Guard report was no restriction. And so between the no restriction, the other boats with me, no crashing waves, and just rollers, I made the decision to go. By the time we got over here to 6, it got crazy. Nothing life-threatening as far as I was concerned, but it was, probably one of the worst crossings for my boat. I've never had the anchor come loose. I've never had everything wash out of the bow, and so it just goes to show what could happen. Just totally, all the years I've had this boat, none of this has ever happened before. And I've gone through crashing waves out in the open water, tuna fishing, where 3 to 4 foot swells turn into 7s and 8s, and the wind picked up from the south, and so we're getting hit from the side and the front on the way back, and that was kind of gnarly, but nothing life threatening. So anyway, I just wanted to show this animation. Check out my other one when I talk about, I actually go all the way through the cycles, and you could see where the exchange happens. The exchange happens like down here, and further upriver, the exchange happens over here. So anyway, stay tuned for that one.